How's it? Today's May 21st, Friday. It's a big Friday, and it's, medium Friday actually, if you think about where I am, and where I started, and where I've been. So today I do just a few singles at 85, and a few singles, I'm sorry, I do a few singles of snatch at 85, and a few singles of clean and jerk at 115. And I try my best to go into some front squats, but things just didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. Overall, my elbow felt pretty okay. Um, it's definitely seen better days, but again, given how I'm sort of been training lately, it's just me trying to get through the day without making it worse, and that's the goal today. And I think overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how it felt today. There's not much I can complain about. I don't think that's a good way of putting it. But yeah, I'm just trying my best to mitigate wrist extension as much as I can. Keep the bar closer to my palm or the heel of my palm, and if I'm able to do that, then things seem to generally go pretty well. Um, One thing I was thinking about as well today was if I was going to be able to feel that sort of pain behind the back of my knee as I get into squat depth, and I definitely could feel it, but it didn't really impact the way that I was lifting. At least I wouldn't blame it if that paints a better picture. Sick hair flip there. I feel strong, and it just feels like I don't have the stability to hold the weight over my head, which is good um, for the first part and bad for the second part, right? I'm sure I've said it a bunch of times. This is my ninth video since restarting this new block, just because my elbow was not feeling super great, and I'm sure I've said it at least 6 times. But here's my first set. I think there's another thing that I need to explore further. I didn't quite do it today, but just keeping the bar further in my, not the bar, keeping the weight of the bar further in my upper body, like closer to my spine, namely in my mid back, versus having it in my arms. Like that one there, that was a solid rep. I was not thinking about that specifically in that, but you can see what I'm talking about if you go back and watch that rep. Similar thing with this one. Basically, if I'm pulling with my arms and not necessarily my back, like they are independent of each other, then my positioning my positioning isn't as good. And then as far as extension goes, I lose a little bit of power, I think. And then I think the biggest part right now is that pulling with my arms in any capacity hurts my elbow. So if I can just get that pressure back into my mid back, which I think is generally the way lifting is supposed to happen, I just perpetuated some bad habits for too long, and it might be that might be the reason why my elbow is sore. Is that it's coming back to bite me in the butt. I don't really think that that's the reason, but it's not impossible. So yeah, similar thing with the cleans. You can see that if I shift the weight into my mid back from the ground, the extension is a little bit different, but my turnover seems to be okay. You can see there. I mean, again, it's not something I was practicing today. It's something I sort of figured out halfway through, and figuring it out halfway through might be a little bit too late. But yeah, got this rep and then one more after this. I think the weights themselves are not very heavy. It's just the necessity to take it easy is of utmost importance here. Because if I end up doing something wrong or misgrooving it once and then like my elbow truly does get injured, then I'll be a sad boy. Also, I probably wouldn't be able to work, and so then that would be even more problematic. Then what do I do? I have no idea. That's my final one there. And then I moved into my pause front squats. These were not the business. I got up to 143 because that was my goal. That's like 315 pounds ish. And I ended up failing, which I don't think I've failed a pause front squat. I mean, I definitely failed pause front squat that time that I ended up progressing. Ended up stopping progressing. English is hard. I don't remember how heavy it was. It must have been over 150. But I mean, it didn't have to be over 150. I don't even remember. It wasn't even that long ago. I just feel like things are hard to track. So here's the one that I failed at, and it's kind of upsetting because I just give up. That's definitely a weight that a sticking point that I've pushed through, and so I reattempt here, and that was a lot harder than the one before that. But overall, like I'm pretty happy with that. So at least for a comeback, right? And then after that, I did one set of 3 for pause front squat, and ended up calling it there just because it was just so hard. My upper back was starting to feel that pressure that it's been feeling, for the last year, and that pressure recently went away. So I ended up stopping it there, and I ended up sucking ass on pull-ups too here. This is supposed to be 40 for a set of 3, but I barely even do one. There's like 1.5 and then like a quarter of one. I sort of just did my best to truck through everything, and again my mid upper back was a little uneasy and slightly pained, so I didn't want to push it. I made a lot of mistakes in the past by pushing too hard when I shouldn't have, and I think this is one of those times where I can learn and just not push as hard as I normally would have. So hopefully this will save me in the future. But after that, I moved into my GHD sit-ups, and then I just called it a day. It wasn't, I didn't feel as defeated. I just felt that a little bit disappointed in how the front squats went. I think they should have been a little bit better, and it's okay. That's it for today. Shoots.